All right. So hopefully, third time's a charm. So I think I should just remove the Snapcaster to go after the Teferi. Because I still will have enough mana to cast out. This is actually a nice time to draw dead. Go after the Teferi. They're opting. They're trying to terminus me. Cool. Make a construct in the end step. Maybe cycle the cast out. Is that crazy? I'm actually gonna do it. I was thinking I needed it for the Jason. Maybe I still do. Nice. Drew into a saga, so I don't feel too bad about not cracking the map. And like that really concerns me, right? Like as we're playing this out, just seems like the construct plan. Oh, wow, do we naturally draw all of our stuff? We did. Shadow Sphere, Chalice, Expedition. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's going to have to be fine. Show me double Fatal Push. They're dead. Okay. All right, I like the idea of Oromancy. Obviously, the Teferis. These can go. These are weak. Chalice might stay. They countered it. They cared enough about it to counter it. Crypt could even stay. There's Planeswalkers to think about, so I want the Needle in. Oromancy protects. Oromancy is kind of a cool card in this deck. It does more than just protect the things we're trying to win with, like Shark Typhoon. This also protects Urza Saga. It'll protect Urza Saga from Field of Ruin. It'll protect Urza Saga from straight up enchantment removal. Which is kind of neat. Kind of want this plan too. I'm not that excited about. Where is it? Did I also cut them? The endings and maybe Chalice isn't all that necessary. The playset anyway. Because I mean, it stops some stuff. Maybe we should still have two. And like maybe these are still better than. I do kind of want to be able to select these two out of the wish board, plus or minus the. Yeah, no, that's about it. Seal of Cleansing's interesting. They may have stuff that this tags, and then I'll feel dumb about the Chalice idea. We could leave Chalice as something that's tutorable with Tabernacle, Talaria West, and maybe we should bring in the Seal. When it comes to their deck, I'd rather not be just getting rid of a permanent. I'd rather be stealing or playing the Shark Typhoon. So outside of cast outing a Planeswalker, I think I might just rather have the Seal, number 2. Let's run it. This is a Teferi hand. We should probably keep it. Well, it's a double Urza Saga hand. More like it. Hopefully you guys are having a nice Friday so far. Even with things like Pithy Needle and stuff in, I don't think I want to turn one Saga in a deck like this. It's not like I'm Affinity. So we'll probably be putting our Saga out onto the table turn 2 more often than not. So who thinks we're going to get to delay their Teferi that they're casting here into play my own Teferi? I feel like that's a possibility. No? Okay. So I have to draw a different land if I don't. That's not true. I don't have to play the West. I'll shock with the Fountain. This is probably Archmage's Charm. Am I just making another Saga? Sorry, making another Construct. Where am I jamming? I think I'm doing neither. They are a Snapcaster Mage deck. We don't know what we need to do yet. I'm actually gonna let that mana go. So they just gave us an opportunity to Teferi. I think that I should take it. This is a nice draw because I kind of just want to slam Nahiri. I don't want them to be able to cut me on red if they do happen to have Field of Ruin. I've sometimes seen Field in... It's not likely. Now, here's a potential of an anti-synergy, right? I have an enchant or two in my yard. I don't really want to ditch the Emrakul. I don't have to yet, in fairness. This seal looks like it's not doing anything. Glad we took game one, because I don't know if this matchup's great for us. Is it Teferi? It's a Jace. Okay. Not a great time for a crash. Against blue-white. Sorry, Esper. I mean, we're almost to Nahiri status. If I can just keep the Teferi on the table, we're good to go. Yes, they have a Jace doing Jace things, but they won't survive the Annihilator of the Emrakul. So this is a cool sideboard plan for us. So am I making a construct, or am I floating? I think we're just floating, right? Well, the construct could block for the Teferi. Not that I care. The Snapcaster damage, I don't think I care. I have other things I could be working towards. Also, like, holding up delay is good. So I think... Oh, I also just could just needle their Jace. That seems great. That's why I brought it in. That's why we brought it in. Cycle delay claim. Oh, you know what? I should have just Talaria Wested, right? I mean, Asfertolded, actually. Yeah, I should have, because I don't have the mana requirements here. Drew a Shadow Spear. Okay. There's not much they can do. They have to answer the Nahiri. I mean, they're going to swing at the Nahiri. They have to. We, I guess, end step cycle the Typhoon. They can't interact with this due to Teferi. That's going to get delayed. They bottom. That's a good sign. Snapcaster can't go after Teferi. Got to go after Nahiri because she's about to ultimate. Fires. So I have 5 lands. I could fires the Astrotold onto the table. And Nahiriing the Shark Typhoon makes perfect sense. I'm trying to get it into the bin. Actually, I don't want to. I don't want to. I do want to save this for transmuting. Oh, whoops! I thought I had one more loyalty on my Teferi. That's a mistake. That's going to cost me maybe the game. That's disappointing. I don't know why I thought I had 4 loyalty on my Time Raveler. So maybe that costs us the match. Like, they just have to have a Cryptic here. That's all they need is a Cryptic. Because they could fight over this now. The bounce to fairy line on the snap only works if he had 4 more loyalty. I don't know why I thought he had 4 loyalty. Because they can't recast the snap is why it protects the Nahiri. Like I understand why my brain went there. I understand why, because I was just trying to ult this and make end the game faster. I'm concerned about another computer crash. Like I get it. I get what I was trying to do. It just did not compute. my Teferi did not have that much loyalty. And I think maybe even then it was maybe loose, right? Like we can bide our time and maybe result in a like now we could lose this. And maybe even have to play game 3. Oh, it resolves. Sweet. So this will be Snap Charm. I know, just me hooking my opponent up. We're giving him a fair shot, right? Giving him a fair shake. Maybe they'll Archmage term the Pithy Needle, right? It doesn't work that way. I mean, it does. It just doesn't do what they would want. It's not like you get to rename. Nah, they're just gonna draw 2 here. Gosh, that was so bad on my part. I don't know why I thought my Teferi had more loyalty. I wish I could just chalk that up to oops, I didn't mean to click that ability. I meant to click the +1, but I think in my mind I was like, "Oh, I'll just protect Nahiri." But then I was like, "Wait a minute. This would sacrifice the Teferi," but I'd already clicked it. I had already clicked it, guys. So we're just going to have to find another way. This is one of those situations where, like, maybe drawing out this second game has a small advantage. The fact being that despite my computer crashing twice during this match, my clock is 2 minutes higher and some change. They're at 8 minutes and 55 seconds. We're at 11 minutes and 25 seconds. When the prismatic comes back, they will be able to answer the needle. So we'll see if we can rectify my blatant mistake when we kind of had it pretty locked up. I mean, I wouldn't say locked up. Like, they still have outs. But, like, me throwing the Teferi away is certainly an avenue to potentially lose this. Get the attack the Nahiri. We don't have nothing. I mean, so the West goes and gets the piece. But maybe we don't even do that anymore, right? Because maybe I'm just better off plussing Nahiri. And making a shark. I don't know, this all breaks down now that I threw away the Teferi in a matchup. It's very useful and important. We'll see if we can still get this. Is this Teferi? I mean, it was an honest mistake. Like, I thought I had something I didn't. Or I thought I had loyalty I didn't. Just, you know, sometimes those honest mistakes can cost you. I don't want to forget about their prismatic coming back. Ooh, okay, cast out. So we have a couple of different ways we could try to answer the Snapcaster. I'm not that interested in the Shadow Spear. Maybe that's what I'm going to discard. Well, okay, so let's not forget. Fires gives me a free cast out. Fires gives me another As Foretold. Could just exile the Snapcaster. Then they use Cryptic there and we feel very stupid. Well, if they have Cryptic, they're just going to bounce the Nahiri. If I don't ditch the Emrakul here, though, then she can't go get the Emrakul. It's unfortunate we drew it. Well, we had it in our opener. We knew this could be an eventuality. Drew Island. I like Island. There's a non-zero chance they fight over this, right? Now, if I go get the thing, right, and try to cast it, they will have a counter for it, but maybe we don't care. I think they do have a counter. I'm going to make a shark. Like, we're just as likely to see the counter spell for our yeah, I think we're just as likely to see the counter spell for Resurgent than we are just Cryptic Bounce Nahiri at this point, right? Which they would have had access to even with the Teferi on the table. It's a lot worse. There's a big difference between them bouncing on my turn versus the other turn. And that's kind of like, because this Prismatic's coming off the stack, it is still going to be cast with one color. So like they'll still get to exile the needle. So I do kind of like doing my shark thing. Something that gets around their counterspell. Just punching the Jace, see if I can get a reaction out of them from that. Although now, funny enough, we have the 6th land and I could have just hard cast the Typhoon. Nice, we drew the Fae. Okay, so let's go to combat. And go after the Jace. I guess if we kill the Jace, then all the more reason for them to just exile the shark instead of the needle, though. Oh, we're going to see a Fatal Push. Okay. Um, so if I do go for the Emrakul discard, we lose out on the ability to so I can't delay unless it's on my own turn, which is fine. I haven't cast any spells yet. So I think with the help of, yeah, especially with this coming off and unlocking the Jace, I think we just go for it. Transmute. It's not unreasonable for their hand to have multiple counter at this point, though. But I think because of my blunder, we kind of need to go for it. I mean, like, I could go for a Saga here instead. Just start doing the Saga plan. Oh, you know what? This won't work. That would be spell number 2. Or delay would be spell number 3. I should have gone for a Saga. I wasn't thinking why I wanted to do that, and then I realized it too late. So yeah, maybe we're losing this now. Suspend is cast without paying mana cost. Won't it always be 0? You're saying it can't ever target the needle? It could have targeted the shark, though. The shark they killed with the fatal push. Oh, you're right. I was wrong. I'm glad that I was wrong. Wow, you know what? If we take... Actually, we don't even need to win this anymore. My opponent has 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. So we are kind of in that territory where... Oh, that doesn't have art. Weird. We are in the weird territory where it's actually kind of a nice thing that I kind of made a blunder. Okay, I say we go for it, and then I know whether or not I should just nuke my own graveyard with putting the Emrakul back in. You can target anything that converge has 0. Right. Even though the spell is white wasn't paid into it. Yeah, I think I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing the light. All right, so let's Resurgent. Doesn't matter which we use to do it. They're going to fight over this. I could delay my own spell. Instead of it letting it get vetoed. Oh, another counterspell? Okay. I could have also just let this go and gone. Well, they had double counterspell. Gosh, I still keep thinking we can pull this off, and it's foolish, right? Instead of shuffling all the goodies away. I also just could go get an Urza Saga. That's probably the most reasonable thing I can think to do, because we still have one I can go get with the Fae of Wishes. That's me being like a reasonable Magic player, right? For me to just go get Saga and play it. It's us being reasonable. They're scrying. Yeah, with them only having 4 minutes, I mean, obviously my computer could crash again and then they win the match. I just hope that doesn't happen. I'm refusing to let go of my graveyard, folks. I'm refusing, and it's probably wrong, but we want to do the thing, right? I mean, I guess we want to win as well. Is a big Teferi? Big Teferi, tuck the Nahiri. Ooh, a Fracturing Gust. Gross. Do we just lose? I think we just lose, right? I mean, we don't lose immediately. But now I kind of have to shift gears, don't I? The Jace is turned back on. I should have shifted gears a long time ago. I was being greedy. Tunnel vision ahoy. I know. It's like as a streamer, and like especially since we already lost a match to humans, we already lost a match to Tron. Like I'm kind of just trying, like for the rest of the league, I'll fully admit it. I am trying to do the fun thing. Unless, oh wow. Okay. It's funny that they have to keep in stuff like Fatal Push because we have the. I don't know why they kept this win in. Actually, is this an attempt to try to kill constructs? This is game 2, right? No. Wait, this is game 1. No. This is game 2. Yeah, this is game 2. So that's why we're kind of sitting pretty. I kind of just want to drag this out. Now you Fey and then activate the Nihiri. I think so. I think we're on the new. I think we're on this plan. I hate to say it, and like obviously the second I pivot to this plan, watch my opponent. I meant to plus my Teferi. Oh, okay. We have another expedition to do. That's kind of nice. That's not better than me playing the blocker, though, is it? I'm aware of the anti-synergy. I wasn't sure about how else I wanted to spend my sideboard. For those of you that are like, wait, isn't that kind of anti-synergistic because you're kind of a graveyard deck? The thought behind that was people are going to go after my graveyard anyway. That was the thought process I had for why I wanted to maybe include. Well, actually, it started with I feel like I probably have a terrible match against Mill, so I actually just wanted an Eldrazi, and then I was like, oh, why don't we just make an Emrakul? Oh, wait, I'm in the colors for Nahiri. Why don't we just play Nahiri? And then that's kind of where the Nahiri plan came from. I do see, just so you guys are aware, I am aware when I threw that in my sideboard of the potential, not just potential, just like the blatant, especially in these longer matches, anti-synergy. I'm aware of it. Because like that whole time I was like, well, I kind of want to do the thing, but maybe, I mean, just by extension. Oh, now I'm just gonna get Kozilek. Spicy. I kind of wish I had like that betrayal or whatever effect. My opponent's at 19. They'd survive the Emrakul, wouldn't they? I don't want to get annihilated forward. Maybe I should bounce it. What a weird, bizarre world we're living in. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Drew an Oromancy a little too late. I mean, now we have Shrouded Urza Sagas, which is kind of nice. See how it says Shroud? Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet, folks? Maybe I should kill the Jace, honestly. Otherwise, they just bounce the Emmy, right? Well, no. Emmy goes back to my hand. But maybe I still should kill the Jace. I think I should, honestly. This gives them so many more looks. 1, 2. We're taking out 6 permanents. We're killing, the snap. Probably the snap, because I have this blocker. Like, we're taking them off of the colonnade because they're losing too many permanents. I think I'm content. Like, it doesn't kill them. They're at 20. So they'll sacrifice Jace because that's a freebie. Since I'm attacking it anyway. They sack the Snapcaster. Emmy goes back to hand for us to set up again. Yep. They have 1 minute left. So honestly, there's a chance that we lost this match if I didn't make my blunder. And I know that's like it's not correct. We could go over all the ways that logic is certainly flawed. Like I should go for the win if I have the opportunity. I'm not saying I'm saying my mistake also seems like it's resulting in a win. That doesn't mean it was correct. Just to clarify, I do see the difference, folks. I have 47 seconds left. This doesn't find anything, but I'm still ditching the Emrakul. Okay. Like I'm not justifying my misplay. Trust me. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying opponent was playing to their outs. I made an honest mistake with my planeswalker that I did not intend, and then yet we still managed to grind it out. So that's nice. I'm not going to say it's satisfying because that's kind of depressing. I feel bad for Esper Control. I feel like there are reasons why I haven't, and like don't get me wrong, this is not a shade at control players. I love me some control. You guys know that I've played my fair share, and I still do on occasion. But my control decks these days look like, let me show you. It was an entertaining match regardless. Yeah, like me making a serious mistake, and then we end up winning anyway. I put on a good show. Yeah, did you like the crashes too? Those were not intentional. That made me so nervous, like to crash in the middle of, especially a matchup like that. I wanted to show you guys. So I have been working on a control deck, but it's actually a different take of Shark Typhoon or Shark Tank. It's like a Blue-White Miracles, and you're using Saga to find Brainstones. That's what we did with Shark Tank last time. The sand kind of sucks. Kind of is a mulligan. The sand's much better. Well, not much better. It is better. I probably put back the fires. I feel like this is a hand where I'm just suspending Resurgent Belief. Since we're only a 2-lander. I mean, we have access to a third land. I think it'd be greedy for me to keep fires here. I should just suspend the Resurgent. Like, we can get this in the bin. Hope to find more things. Everything countered to exile. Yeah, it's certainly fun for the person playing it, right? Like, and I think that's true for most control decks, right? It's not me advocating for. I probably just want to cycle this into the bin instead of playing out the map, right? Nah, we play out map because Chalice next turn might be correct. I don't have that much red in my deck. I have 4 red cards in the main board, and I have 2 in the side. Obviously, Prismatic wants us to have also our red source, but I don't know what I'm up against. It's probably correct for me to get basic plains or island here. Just because I don't know. Honestly, we should get basic plains because I can shock us into or fetch the steam vents. Like if this is kind of the gingerly saying I don't quite know what you are. You could be something really aggressive. Let's get the color we know we need for this hand, which is white. And then I mean we're more likely to fix into our blue anyway. All my other sources are blue, if not colorless sources. And if we need to fetch shock, we can fetch shock. Jeff says, but control is an important part of Magic. Oh, for sure. It needs to be there. Right. And I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, like, the way that I'm building my control decks lately. Oh, wait. They're back. I was going to show you. It's a Shark Tank shell. It's got a similar engine. It's not doing the As Foretold thing. It's just trying, like, because Resurgent Belief is such a short suspend, I actually didn't bother in my first builds of Shark Tank. I didn't bother playing As Foretold, and I had some folks in chat. Actually, Teddy Bear was one of them. Teddy, of course, was an advocate for. No worries. No worries, opponent. Don't know if Chalice is good yet. Usually is. Usually is. Okay, so we've drawn to the fountain. I probably just slam my Chalice on one. I want this to be a red source is why. Like, them going Scalding Tarn, no aggressive turn 1 play, makes me feel like I can get away with Chalice. The old Expedition map Chalice on one deck. Oh, breeding pool. That's not what I expected. Not what I expected. Wooded foothills. Okay. Could be anything. I mean, I don't know what they're doing yet. Could be some form of scape shift. Bring to light. Another resurgent belief. That's not great. I probably set up Saga with how bad this is going for us. Let's go ahead and hop on the Saga plan. And that's the only other choice for expedition map anyway. It's between Saga or one of the two Talaria West. So it's this 6 or the, you know, well, this or this are the choices for this. Hey, what's up, Gato? I got smushed by humans, and then I died to Tron, even though they were mulliganing really heavily. We did beat Esper Control. Now I'm up against something I have no idea. No idea, but they're shocking, whatever it is. There's got to be like Growth Spiral, right, for them to shock like this? There's got to be Growth Spiral. What? Just arbitrarily shocking. Okay. No, like, since I saw this deck as a regular blue-white shell. Oh, Gato, you're talking about what I was trying to pull up and I just was unsuccessful. I was trying to pull up Sharktank. This deck actually started Esper because there is a black cycling enchantment, but it's really bad from the new set. Just kills a small creature. I don't know why they shocked. Why did they shock? Anybody know? On the stomping ground? It might have just been a misclick. Shardless. Okay, we're comboing. Now I wish my chalice was on 0. I guess now we know why they shocked. I mean, in fairness, like if somebody goes Scalding Tarn, do nothing, my first inclination isn't that they're footfalls. But maybe that should have been on my radar. So we cycle this. Looking for outs. Prismatic, one of the rhinos. I'll overpay. I think that's better than me suspending belief. Because if I suspend belief, sure, it gets back Saga. It gets back cast out. I think that's too slow. I think I need to answer one rhino here. They shocked to make you think they're a different deck. Well, I bought it. At that point, I'd already chaliced, though. So X is 2. Color is 1. So get rid of a rhino. I mean, now that I know what they are, like I have a playset of Chalice and I have some Teferis in the board. I don't think our matchup's terrible. Let's go get our Triome. I don't think our matchup's bad. I do think if I'm going to go with Caverns, I probably need to commit to it and play more than one copy. Just saying. But yeah, the deck has certainly changed, Gato. Taking a bunch here. It's okay, though. Footfalls is a sweet deck. So we're on a subtlety build just so that you know, that I know, that that's what they're on. It's pretty typical. Oops, I misclicked. Maybe that's okay. Should I just make Construct? Yeah, I should just make Construct. We make it Construct. Shadow Spear. Nice, we can get it around the Chalice. And Chalice, they will, in response, make a Rhino, probably. They do not. Do they have a bounce for this? That's a Chalice on 0. I mean, they do have bounces in their deck. It's probably end step bounce Chalice, right? Brazen Borrower? Gotta be. Gotta be Brazen Borrower this. They play a playset in a lot of builds. I'm assuming that's what they've got. Bounce this. They hardcast the Borrower. Okay. All right, if we live long enough for this to come back around... Why would you play this out? Do they just have lethal somehow? Why not bounce the construct even? I feel like there's two really juicy targets for the bounce. Oh, their hand's just filled with borrowers? Okay. So this is nigh lethal. Down to 1. Don't think there's an out. I need a Terminus off the top. And again, like that's the beauty of the other build we were working on, Gato, is I do have outs like top deck of Terminus. It's too bad we didn't know what they were. I guess I could have slow rolled the Chalice a little bit longer. Fluster's good. It comes in. Teferis are great. They come in. Delay's good too. Like I have a lot of aces in this matchup, and that sucks that they just didn't look like to me like they were. Well, we made the Chalice decision when all we saw was a Scalding Tarn. I was a little suspicious that they didn't have a proactive play. Like that makes me think they're at least not prowess. They could still be blue-red Murktide. How we cast our suspend card through the Chalice. Oh, that's true, Ursuni. I needed to turn off what they were doing, and I needed to somehow get around it. I don't know. This is kind of weak, actually. I mean, okay, let's bring in the explosives. Yeah, I mean, like, I needed to turn off them for making more rhinos. Oh, thank you. You reminded me. I have to bring this in. Thank you. Yes. So I remember discussing this earlier, and I can't remember what the plan was when it comes to when we're up against the other 0 spell brethren. I can't remember what our plan was. I don't remember what the plan was. Because Chalice is a way that fights them, but it obviously also turns off something that we're trying to do. So I'm trying to remember what the plan was, because I thought this through, and I'm not sure if I have. These seem really weak, too. These do kill borrowers. I might keep these in. Endings kill a rhino. Like, I have a lot of ways to stop what they're trying to do. I mean, eventually I can just start hardcasting these, by the way. The sharks. I think Chalice on 0 is just so juicy that I think... Like, ours is the slower Wombo. Or Cerny. So I actually think... As weird as it looks, like, okay, so how many counters do we have to what they're trying to do? 11, right? I think we run them all. I think we run all of them. I think Cat's Out's too weak. Lay Claim, like, sure, it might steal a rhino, but I don't think that's worth it. Could play the Oromancy, kind of predicting that they're going to be bringing in some of the enchantment artifact removal. This just protects our finisher. This also protects our sagas. Kind of like this idea. All right, let's do it. Yeah, like strangely enough, I think we just have to try to be the control. Gemstone when it's not relevant. The sand is just a bunch of land. I mean, it's not. It's Foretold plus the piece, but no enchantment to go with it. Let's mulligan that. The sand is worse. Can I have a 5, please, that functions? I'm going to put this back. And probably the map back too. I know that's weird, but it's... I think this is what we want. Maybe I shouldn't even fetch this. By the way, they sometimes have Blood Moon in their sideboard. Some versions have Moon. I don't think I'm supposed to fetch this. Not because of Moon, but because of... I need 3rd land. I'd like 3rd land. Nice. Chalice on 0. Sweet. I know. It's like, but Bruce Spy, you're turning off what your own deck is doing. I mean, I think it's more important we turn off what their deck's doing. So, hence my argument. I put these into my deck not thinking so much to put them on 0. Oh, they're forcing and I get to fluster? Ooh. We top decked this Chalice, by the way. Flusterstorm still works if I have Chalice on one because of the way that Storm works, so this is not an anti-synergistic. It's something I've done in Legacy plenty of Chalice builds. Or Tesserator. By the way, I was working on a modern Tesserator today. I don't think it's very good, but I was working on it. So we got a game. So you're saying there's a game to be had. Just bounce my chalice now. I replay it. Still waiting on land. Which I know, which is awkward because I have this delay that I want to cast. Maybe it's more important that I'm able to... could get the Astrotold on the table. It doesn't really do anything. Yet. Although, I guess I should start getting this ticked up, right? Because we're just planning to hardcast our walkers and stuff with it. Or free cast our walkers with it. Basic, huh? Basic. Map. I can map. I think I should map instead of Astrotolding. I'm still going to hold the delay up. You never know. End step, bounce this, try to go off. It's a pretty common line for their deck. Something that we do sometimes also in our own little deck of shenanigans. You have 2 cards left. All right. We have suspended their force. Need to find a Teferi in those next few turns. If I go get Saga, that feels real bad. If I play out the Astrotold, it dies to the force as well. Feels a bit like vintage here. They suspended a crashing. So they're pretty confident this force is going to go off. Since I have the extra Astrotold, yeah, I don't really want to map into force, just wrecks it. So force has 2 more turns to go. Maybe I should just get both Astrotolds out on the table, because we know this is going to get blown up. Maybe I should make it so they can't take me off of an Astrotold, and we're going to get one ticking up regardless. He'll kill the one that already has ticked up, right? I can't imagine he'd go after the map. I mean, maybe if I tap out. Maybe it's still correct for me to just sit on the map, and then end step, we predict he blows up these 2. It doesn't matter. He's not going to blow up this because we keep the mana open, right? Go get Saga. Ending. Okay, that'll answer one of the... This will answer one of the rhinos that might be coming. Not much I can do about the force on my chalice here. Yeah, I think it's just end step map for Saga. Would have loved to have seen a Teferi between now and when this force is coming back. I do wish that I could afford more Teferis. I think the list wants 3. Not just because of the delays. Yep, that's what I kind of predicted you'd pop. Predictable. I mean, I guess I could Talaria West. What am I even getting back, though? I guess I'd be getting... Yeah, there's nothing to get back yet, really. So it's... I think it's Saga. We drew a Talaria West, apparently, anyway. Okay, Saga... Saga Foretold. I guess this Talaria West also is an Engineered Explosives. So maybe that's what I should have done with it, is just tutored up Engineered Explosives and played... I couldn't play the Engineered Explosives this turn. Now I have to draw land in order to have it. So I don't know if I'm in love with this line I just took, right? Like, as the Foretold doesn't really do anything yet. It's not like I have some enchants in the like this line that I took is getting us closer to our cascade, not cascade, sorry, to our big silly spell. And there's a lot of folks out there, pros included, that would remark that the footfall builds of these cheat in spells decks are arguably the better ones, or is the best way to do. And I agree. I'm not disagreeing just because I'm trying to make this one work, or we spent the last month and some change trying to make Glimpse work as well. I just wanted to briefly show off the other style of Shark Tank we were working on. This is the Miracles style. Not sure about the sideboard yet. Just briefly. So this will look a little bit like a Miracles shell, which I think that this deck does facilitate. I will admit today's build did miss out on... and yeah, this wasn't necessarily going to be running any Asfertolds. I feel like we added them just because I was trying to appease chat. I really think the deck building philosophy I had for this deck originally was, I don't want to bother. I think that Resurgent Belief, the suspend on it is fast enough as long as the shell of the deck is a control deck, right? I do feel as though, so these are all threes. I do. So the deck says tons of threes, right? I do think that this is a very quick suspend. And because of that, I kind of want to... oh, that's not good. Okay, hang on. Well, no, that's fine. So we're okay. I messed this up, though. Well, I guess if this doesn't resolve, I have to ending one of the rhinos. They have 2 cards left. This might not resolve. They could have like a Brazen Borrower, and then I'm not getting both rhinos, sets of rhinos. I suspect they do have the bounce. They don't have enough blue to put the other Petty Theft, though, on the table. So I actually might be able to wait. I'll go very low, and then we'll just die to the to this guy, right? I'm still shocking to do this play because my other basic's already in play. So I think I have to consider that line because of the Brazen Borrowers, like, because this line gets it countered as well. And now I have to somehow answer both of the... That's not true. I don't have to answer both. I answer one, and I make a construct which blocks some of the damage. I don't know. It looks bad. Yes. Matchup's tough. Deck's good. We'll do what we can. Asfertold ticks up. Urza Saga says, hey, oh, okay. We got a shot now. So this is going to go to the bin. Do we really not have a single other? I guess I cut some, right? I cut the casts and the lay claims. Yeah, all I have right now is returning sagas, and so maybe it's not enough. I almost wish what I had instead was, certainly wish I had instead was the Restore Balance instead of Resurgent in this situation. So I don't have enough food in my bin. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to make a construct or not. I think I have to, right? Because, like, what am I going to go get with this? The spear? So I do think that this turn's going to involve me resurgenting the saga back, right? I can't see it not involving that. As this is a very one of the weaker interactions that this has. I think I have to do it though. Get Saga back. So now we have the extra mana to do the equip. We did get back a second as foretold. I was kind of ignoring that we would get back a second foretold. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to take this. Down to 4. They bone crush me, right? They suspend a footfalls. That's a good sign. Can I draw something? Another resurgent. Okay. So I guess we're going to do that line again of just keep getting back the... whoops. I don't do it yet, right? Go to combat. I'm sure somebody in chat's like, "Wait, Bruce Spy, why are you whining? Like, your deck is doing something really powerful. Just keep getting Saga back." I mean, but Life from the Loam would do this. Like, Renin 6. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to just move this. Yeah, like Renin 6 also does this. Life from the Loam does this. I don't know. Crucible, Ramunap, Excavator. Let's pay attention to when that's coming off. So like, I'm not doing super powerful magic here by any stretch. Just very basic. Just going to keep spending these to get the Saga back, right? But Saga's pretty broken, so maybe this is going to be good enough. To me, it feels kind of weak. Let's go ahead and auto yield to these, kind of like an Aether Vial effect. It's the Aether Vial for spells. Make. Go get things. Oh, I don't have anything actually. Yeah, I do think we needed more food. Go to combat. I think we're going to get there, maybe. Sweet. They're at 4. All right. As we're told. Get back Saga. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Well. Maybe this is wrong. What do they even have, right? This would protect some of my enchants from Force of Vigor. I'm going to leave it in. We know they have Force of Vigor. I knew that. We knew that. We knew. That was sweet. That was kind of cool, wasn't it, folks? Yeah. These can't be in, right? What was I trying to kill? Brazen Borrowers with these? Fae of Wishes blocks that. I think that was wrong. I think this was a wrong choice. Maybe some of my other choices were fine. I think the Nahiri plan was also... Oh, no, I remember why we were on the Nahiri plan, because I'm maybe turning off my Resurgent Beliefs. Right, so that's why we wanted that in at least. But I think these were wrong. I think... do we still want these as wish targets, or do we want these just in? Is stealing a rhino good enough? I feel like they just make so many rhinos when they have a good draw going, right? Their deck certainly does go over the top. It's designed to. I mean, we have some aces here, like Teferi and Chalice on 0. Yeah, I do feel like we don't have enough enchants for the Resurgent to really... Like, granted, we won there just by returning the Saga a bunch, but like I think I need more than just return Typhoon and Saga. And like this is what the Miracles deck is based around. Like the Miracles deck you just saw earlier, it's just based around Saga, Typhoon, and maybe some sideboard cards you keep getting back over and over again. I think we should be playing some number of lay claims. I probably should always play these, although these are really expensive to cycle, right? But, I mean, I'd much rather steal a Rhino or a land than I would just exile one. All right, let's bring those in over the bad removal spells. I mean, they're not that bad. They do bounce. Like, okay, so this hand does have Talaria West to tutor, but it's like this hand just seems so bad, right? Whereas I could have a hand that has the Chalice on 0. Like, I should look for a 6. This, like, even if I wasn't digging for chalices, I think this hand's just bad. I just think this hand's not good enough. This does have the Chalice. This has the enablers. This also has a Teferi. I'm in. Let's. So Fae combos with fires, but I mean Fae also works with the Astrotool. We should put the fires back. That's something we definitely want to top deck into, and I'm more interested in it if I didn't put it back because I don't have red source. I put it back because it's 4 mana. I did think about Electrodominance, but it was too much to have red for the color of deck we are, I feel. Can't have double Chalice on 0. But we have a backup Chalice should they answer the first. Love to get this Teferi on the table. That would be wonderful. Just bounce my Chalice. I'm assuming this is Shardless Agent. Well, I guess I did ask for some chalices, and I kind of got what I asked for, huh? Opponent has 10 damage they're beating down with, so need to draw an out. Rhinos is a good deck. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I mean, I guess they swing for a bunches. I play Teferi, bounce a Rhino. Maybe this other Footfalls does actually get countered by the Chalice. Let's not forget they have a borrower that they're going to bring in this next turn, too. I like the adventure cards just look so great in their deck with how aggressive they can be. Yeah, so Teferi hopefully resolves. If I don't draw something better, that is, this is where I'm thinking. And maybe getting Saga was wrong. Maybe I was supposed to get the Triome off of the map because I'm kind of working off low resources here. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. Maybe, well, no, it's lethal, so I have to go for this and hope they don't have a counter. I was going to say maybe I'm supposed to play Astrotold and hope to draw land to cast Granted and go get Restore Balance, but Restore Balance wouldn't resolve. I'd have to have them answer the Chalice, right? Land, please. Typhoon. Okay. So they're going to put in Borrower, and I'm just dead anyways, right? Pretty much. If I play the other Teferi, bounce another Rhino, it's just too slow. Our draw was too slow to handle what they were doing. We need like a Prismatic. We would need a oh, they didn't put the Borrower in. Weird. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you cast this? I mean, I forget about my adventure cards sometimes too. Do we have a chance? So I think we're just dead anyway, right? It doesn't even matter. Like if this thing doesn't have trample, right? Like I could. Yeah, I think we needed another like cheaper answer. Like we did also miss a land drop at some point in this game. So in addition to just going down land just this turn from a saga, should have done it before Teferi. Oh, Teferi is what stops it, says Big Lo. Oh yeah, they should have just hard cast this during their turn. Maybe they didn't think about the implications of Teferi, but it looks like it doesn't matter anyway. I'm trying to think of like what out I would have.